boy, you can't get more interesting than this.
I agree.
I'm here with JT Tilley, and we are at the Branson Fight Club. How about that? So, I honestly did not know you guys had this down at RoArc.
Yes, sir.
Am I saying
Yes,
that
sir.
right?
Yeah, RoArc Health Club. We're in the back of the RoArc Health Club.
Yeah, and I knew that you had the events because a lot of friends of mine go there, whether for the fighting or for the ring girls.
Ring girls, yeah.
So you got something for everybody, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't. We've been here for about 2.5 years now. We used to be over at the Red Roof Mall for a few years before that.
But we
kind of keep a low profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started in 2006 in my garage.
Yeah.
Moved from my
just
garage.
Like us.
Yeah, pretty much. And moved from the garage to the Red Roof Mall, and then when the Red Roof Mall, God rest its soul, when that happened, we moved over here to RoArc, and we love it here.
Yeah, well, this is good because I'm imagining you don't get a lot of tourists that want to pop in.
Plus, we've got a sauna and a weight room and a swimming pool just on the other side of the wall, and
yeah,
RoArc's really good about letting the fighters use the
facilities and
yes,
stuff. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I've been here watching some of the guys. I did some footage of them. And really working out, but you get quite the range of ages,
sure, yeah,
and backgrounds and stuff.
Absolutely, these two gentlemen here are both champions. Marco with the afro here, he's the Afro Samurai. He's the show fight middleweight champion, and Rob is the Brawl Inc. heavyweight champion.
Really?
And there's a 30-year difference.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Rob's 48 years old. Marco's just turned 22.
22.
So a 20-year difference.
Yeah. So he's. You said he's the Afro Samurai.
Yeah, he's the Marco, the Afro Samurai.
He doesn't look Japanese. Is he Japanese?
He fights Japanese though.
Oh, that's good.
He's actually getting ready for a fight here in a few weeks. He's just signed a big management deal, so it's a big to do about Marco right now.
I know, that's cool. And MMA is huge right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it everywhere and stuff. And
in Branson, I was surprised at how popular it was because when we first started as a team, there was no mixed martial arts in Branson. We used to have to drive out to the middle of. We used to drive hours and hours in my car out to the middle of Arkansas and fight in bars.
Yeah.
And it was really sketchy. It was very unhealthy. You didn't know who you were going to fight. Sometimes you had to fight your way out to the car.
I've been to bars in Arkansas.
It was
Trust
rough.
me,
Yeah.
I know.
It was rough.
I had New York plates on my car, and I went down to Arkansas.
That's kind of what happened with us. We'd fight our way out, and we'd go down there 4 or 5 times, and then we'd travel up to Springfield, and there was never any talk of anything like this in Branson. And then one day, we just went on a whim and said, let's try. And we've been selling out. I think we've had 40 events.
How long ago was that? When did you really start? Because I kind of remember it just from friends at the gym asking me to go to it, and I'm like, MMA in Branson.
As a team, we've started in 2006, but we didn't actually start our own promotion until 2009, I believe.
Yeah. And where do you usually have the shows? I mean, you've had them several different places.
Yeah, we started at a place called Planet Branson. You remember Planet Branson? We did our first show there. And it was too small. We moved to the pub, the Outback Pub, and we started doing these outdoor shows, which people seem to like those.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And we did several at the pub. We did a few at the Mansion Theater, the Radisson. People seem to like Shake It Up. I think they call it the Branson Central Theater now.
That was one of the first places I went when I came here was Shake It Up. Yeah.
People love the fights there because they have the dance floor.
It's perfect because you got the balcony. They still have that, right?
Yeah, and it gets nice and loud, and people seem to like the nice and loud at the fights.
Yeah,
40 fights in, and the mayor comes. I see the mayor at the fights.
How does she do? What title does she have? What is her weight class? Can we talk about
She doesn't fight unless it's in the crowd. You know, she's a very active mayor. But no,
she's great.
She oversees. So sometimes she and I can remember in the past when we were at the pub, she and I never got any closer than 300-400 feet from the cage. She didn't want to get anywhere close to the fight, but she stood up on the hill and made sure it was safe. And
no, she's really supportive of new things in Branson. Very progressive, I think.
She's been really great for us. Hasn't given us any beef.
Any beef.
And the cops always find a reason to come to the fights, but normally it's not because we need them. It's because they want to come watch the fights.
Yeah, actually, I'm friends with a lot of people in the sheriff's department.
Yeah,
and they're always online on the FaceTube or whatever it is. Come over. We're all going to the fights and stuff like that.
We love it. It's been really good for us. These guys would have been doing this regardless, but now so many of them have become local celebrities that it's great to see that happen.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is that the guys we were talking earlier kind of bond and kind of support each other. They encourage each other. You have all different skill levels.
We do,
here.
yeah.
So, but they encourage each other, and it's not.
It's been great.
Although it's a competition.
Sure.
It's not a competition between them. Like, they genuinely want to help each other give advice.
Yeah, a lot of people look at fighting or mixed martial arts or MMA. A lot of people look at it as an individual sport. It's not an individual sport.
No.
These guys, they fight. It's just them in the cage when they fight. These guys and gals, but there's no way they could prepare for the fights without each other.
Right. Yeah, it's a team thing. There is no I in fight.
There's a meet.
Except for the one. Yeah.
There's a me.
Is there in fight?
Yeah.
Not so much.
No, I guess it's in team.
Team. There you go.
Meet. Yeah, but there's a meet in fight. There's an I in fight.
Yeah.
There's a fig.
A fig. And a fit. A fit.
There's a fit
because it's very fit.
Well, that was really corny, but still accurate.
Yeah, well, you know.
No, but we keep the team at 25. There's 25 guys at all time, guys and girls.
Right.
And some guys never fight, others fight all the time. Really what ends up happening is we build a culture in the gym. It's just everybody loves everybody. And any negativity is kicked to the curb immediately. And so what ends up happening is back in the late 90s and early 2000s, I might have to step in like a father or an uncle and kind of check personalities. But now I can do cool
each other.
I can do cool things like this, and they'll just check each other. You know, it runs itself.
I do that with the twins. We're always talking about the twins on here because I always have weird stories. But we've taught them that if one of them acts up, neither of them get the reward. So now they kind of police each other.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a nice technique. I should try that.
Well, if you have twins.
I've never dated twins, but we'll talk about that.
I dated twins in high school.
If one of them acted up, did neither get the reward?
Well, everyone always said, how can you tell the difference between the twins, and the boy had a mustache. So,
Understood.
No,
Understood.
Yeah.
True story.
No, it's not. It's not a true story. No.
So you haven't been to the fights?
I have not. Unfortunately, you have the fights usually like on Friday nights or whatever.
Friday, Saturdays.
And oddly enough, here in Branson, we have shows.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard for me to...
You're a glitter boy, I understand.
A glitter boy.
Glitter in your veins.
Well, you...
Wait, glitter boy sounded a little... I didn't mean it in that
especially
way.
After the joke.
Yeah,
So.
I should have preempted the joke with the glitter boy reference.
Yeah, now it's too late.
I'm a glitter boy too, man.
Are you?
Yeah,
well,
yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
But we have a show coming up this off season, and I'll make sure you get tickets. You come by and
That
see
would be
it.
great, but I'll probably be in Mexico, unfortunately.
You run a lot, don't you?
I run?
You run.
I don't run.
Who's after you?
Well, there's several people after me constantly. Ladies, calm down.
Yeah, twins.
No, I'm married.
I know
Found
that.
just the right woman that needed to become a citizen.
And then, oddly enough, had twins with her.
Yeah, and that's why we're going back to Mexico.
Understood. Oh, it's cheaper to raise twins in Mexico.
Well, back to visit her family and such.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know where we're going with this.
Nowhere.
But no, I really do want to come to the fights. And it's like I've been interviewing a lot of different entertainers that will be coming up on some of these shows. And they always say, well, hey, have you seen my show? And unfortunately, no, because I have a show when they do. And, we joke around that after 9 years, I've seen 5 or 6 shows in Branson.
Yeah, I feel you.
On my day off, I don't want to do it.
You're on the boat a lot. Which
on the boat.
When you're on the boat,
kind of hard to get off the boat.
You're captive. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I understand
we say
completely.
that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not that good at swimmers. So.
Well, and if you were, I don't know. You might be in a different line of work.
Maybe. I'm trying to do some of these shows out there. When we want to start a reality show, so I Think You Can Dance is big. So I'm going to do So You Think You Can Swim. And we'll see how it works. But,
very nice.
Yeah. Anyways, back to what we're talking about. They're stretching now.
They're okay. They're not dead.
That's good. Yeah.
If we were facing the other direction, this would not be happening.
Really?
So let's give them the break. Yeah.
So, but you have a little background. I mean, you entertained in Branson for quite some time.
Yeah, I did for a while. I entertained when I first moved here in the early 90s. I did about 10 or 12 years. And it just ran its course once my daughter, once my daughter was born, it just became a little bit more practical to work a real job.
Right.
So I worked a real job for a while, and I did well, and it allowed me the freedom to open this place. And
so when you first came here, where did you come from?
I came from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, the Sunshine State.
The Sunshine State,
beautiful down there.
Yeah, the city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
And I came here, and I was supposed to work in a show called Gettysburg, and I never set
Really?
foot on the stage. Yeah, the show didn't make it.
That's surprising. That sounds like, well, you might have had some of the veterans from Gettysburg actually
maybe.
come to the show.
Come to the show, yeah.
You never know.
So, true that. But that show, when I showed up, it was a mid-season thing, and when I showed up, it was already finished. So I ended up working with Yakov Smirnoff and The Promise and the 50s at the Hop Show. And you know how it is in Branson. You get passed around the city until you find a place to land.
Yeah. But were you interested in all this back then?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. Since the very first UFC, which was in 1993, I believe.
Yeah.
I've been fanatical about it, just
Yeah, right.
And I was a wrestler, so it fit in with my background athletically. And I never intended in my life to be a coach or to own a fight organization of any
It just
type.
happens, doesn't it?
It just happened to me, and I love it. It's been great. This is my family,
Yeah, you know what? That's cool about Branson because so many different people I've met lately, and there is this whole underground of things.
Yes, sir.
Like a camaraderie between people. They come together with similar interests and stuff like that. The art world that I've been highlighting a lot. But
yeah, now we met. That's odd how Branson connects us all, because you and I just met today, but while setting up the equipment, we have 6-8 friends in common.
Yeah, and our daughters
were friends. So
and we didn't even know that.
Yeah, didn't realize it. That shows you how well we are. How
well, I never
we
actually went in to meet her dad. I just leave her at the curb.
I would send my daughter with anyone.
With anyone.
Yeah, whatever I can do to get some free time.
You got to watch that,
as
because
a single
here in
mother,
Branson,
I need it.
Yeah. Here in Branson, people are really worried about that. And I used to go to the post office in Hollister and just leave my daughter in the car. Yeah. And I got in trouble because you know how small it is. You just run in, it's a minute.
You got to have.
So I had a big complaint. This woman.
Down.
No, now I couldn't leave her in the car anymore. She was really little. So now when I run into the post office, I have to get her out and put her in the trunk.
Yeah.
And then run in, get the mail, and come back out.
You just have to play it safe. You've always got to make good decisions,
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah. I'm a parent, so I look out for them.
The truth of the matter is you don't want your daughter to see you making the poor choice of leaving you in the car where people can see her.
Exactly.
And she needs to know her places in the trunk.
Yeah,
when you're
and
at
just
the post
morally
office.
supportive. You know, you need to set those good morals for both the kids. I have one that's 12 months and one that's 14 months.
Nice.
And so morally, I want them to know what's right and wrong.
So you have a child every couple of months, I see.
I try.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's rough
That's
on
good.
the mom.
You should do an interview on that one.
No, let's not.
Maybe. What were we talking about?
We were talking about yoga. No.
Yoga,
what were we
hot
talking
yoga.
about? Hot yoga.
Yeah, none of these guys were allowed in, so they came here.
Are you serious?
No, they're just not hot enough.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about Jennifer Pearson.
Jennifer in the art studio.
I just watched your interview with Jennifer Pearson at Rock Bottom Studios.
They're great. The art festival was today, or the film festival. I keep calling it because it is art.
Did you make it by? I did not.
I did. Unfortunately, I could only stay an hour because of the show situation.
Understood.
Yeah.
Her husband Olaf, great guy, trains here from time to time, so we're connected in that way as well.
Yeah.
But if you can go to Rock Bottom, it's a great place. We love those people. They're great people.
Yeah, they are.
That's how I found out about what you guys are doing. And then, oddly enough, she says, you got to call my friend Chris.
Yeah.
You got to hit Christopher up. He's doing this thing. I looked at it. I thought, oh, absolutely. And then the next thing I know,
Here I am.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And oddly enough,
sweaty people behind us.
Well, that's always how it works.
Yeah.
But when the cameras are off, we're going to push him into the cage.
That's fine.
And it's going to be great. If I can get my cell phone camera to work, then I'll try and follow this
yeah,
footage.
Unfortunately,
with that
we can't get a signal in here, so that
Yeah.
this isn't even being recorded. So.
No, it would be horrible if it were.
Yeah. So you decide? Do you still entertain? Do you still work occasionally in some stuff?
There's a new show that
in general
that begins 2015, doo-wop, pop, and soul. And I just reached.
And you are which part? You are the doo-wop or the soul?
I'm again perpetually the white guy, so you'll be easy to
so
find.
So not the soul.
No, I might be. You'll have to
You're
come and
be
see.
The pop.
You'll have to come and see. It's a matinee, so you can actually come and see.
Oh, great! Because that's what I want to do on my time off. Is go see
absolutely.
A show.
Yeah, or come here.
Yeah, right. No, actually, I would come here. Like
you
this
should.
is something that I would do if
you
I
should.
could.
You should. You'd fit in real well here, man. Just probably less clothing.
Yeah, well, I came straight here from the show. So
really?
Yeah, actually.
That explains the cards.
Yes,
in the pocket.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, I got the jokes here.
Yeah. Well, let me know when they start.
I will.
Okay.
I will. Yeah, I say that at a lot of shows. People say that in the audience, actually.
Yeah. Good Lord.
But anyways, so you're performing, and then you decide to give it a go. And you find this great place here to work out and stuff.
I tell you,
but tell me about a couple of the guys, because you were telling me you got first place guys training here.
I mean, if you can see the back wall, you can see it's like a timeline. Down at the end when we first started, our first title, I believe we won back in '97, and this is just a timeline all the way to the end of the wall here.
Wow.
So right now, I think in this gym we have. Tonight there's about 4 in here, but right now there are about 7 champions training here.
Wow.
A couple of guys are ranked 1 and 2 in the world, and one young lady that's ranked number 2 in the world right now as amateurs. And a couple of guys just signed big management contracts. So things are going really well for us, but we don't really focus on the belts. I know it kind of seems that way.
Right. Maybe that's motivating.
Well, it keeps the belts from walking around town on someone's shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not always the best look.
Yeah, we'll leave that for Elvis.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But basically, it's not about so much the winning as much as it's the competing.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very difficult. As you know, it's very, very difficult to improve yourself by yourself.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
working
absolutely.
in a group situation.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, motivating each other. But but you have these people. You said first place. amateur.
The gentleman here, you can probably see him behind us.
That's the samurai?
Marco Hutch is 2 fights away from signing a big pro agreement. He's just won 6 fights in a row. His career, he's 10 wins and 1 loss.
Oh, wow.
So he's doing fantastic. And he's right now he's ranked as the #1 middleweight, amateur middleweight in the country by our sanctioning body. So
that's cool.
Great for him.
So what would you say, people see it on TV, and obviously, well, at least to me, online professional sports, I'm going to say sports here, are sometimes tarnished by the wrestling, and the sensationalism of that. But MMA does not have anything like that.
Man, I would like to say they don't have anything like that. Normally that wouldn't be the case, because one thing that we say here, a lot of people will talk and they're boastful and they're prideful people. You have a background in martial arts too, so you know this. One thing that I've always noticed as a coach and as a student is as soon as they take their shoes off and step onto the mat, everything becomes black and white. It becomes the truth.
Right.
So that's the thing about mixed martial arts, is you can hype your fights and you can make a joke of yourself or make yourself look like a heel, but as soon as the cage door closes, there's a real fight to be had.
Yeah,
so
right.
They do occasionally have guys from the pro wrestling world cross over into mixed martial arts.
Really?
But they don't always fight at a high level, so mostly it's just to sell tickets. Sometimes they're great, but not very often.
Yeah, it's a promotional type thing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And as a promoter, in a separate life, I'm also a promoter of fights. And sometimes you have to do that because the costs are so great that you've got to sell the tickets.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the guys don't get to fight. So sometimes you have to use a promotional stunt here or there and sell it. I don't know anything about those. I saw that there was a guy over there who was talking about promotional stunts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying I've heard tale of them. But sometimes you have to have promotional stunt to sell tickets. And you know what? If the big leagues have to do that, hey, man, I understand.
Who are you to judge?
Who am I to judge? Not on camera.
Yes. Yeah. Silently judge. My wife always says, don't forget the word silent.
Silently judge. Fair enough.
Yeah, that does. But speaking of not silently judging,
let's do it.
Yeah, is you were kind of a little sensation here a few months ago with a little issue we have in the Branson community.
Oh, yes.
Of the
handling of the pans.
The handling of the pans, yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm sure everybody notices that we have a little problem. Had a little problem. Still have it.
Some people view it as a problem. Others I have found do not view it as a
situation. Let's call it a situation where there are people that are making a career out of panhandling.
Now, I want to be clear. Some of them homeless. Yeah. Some of them not homeless.
Some of them genuinely need the help. And there are places they could go, probably.
Absolutely.
And this is Branson. I mean, we get, 7 or 8 million people, so there's plenty of jobs.
Yeah, there's plenty of jobs, and there's also plenty of help for the homeless.
Yeah.
Plenty of help, and we help them ourselves. We dedicate 15% of every single show we do to charity. So we help the homeless as well. JesusWasHomeless.org, by the way, if you're willing to help. But we also have a lot of folks in Branson who are not homeless.
They come here to take advantage, I would say, of the tourists.
Sure.
For the most part. Because the local people know what's up. Because we see them all the time.
We do. Now, not all the local people know what's up. Some people... See, what happened, for those of you that don't know, what happened is I live in an area of Branson that's rife with panhandling. And I've never had an issue with panhandling. In my other career, I travel all over the world. I see poverty. I'm supportive of the homeless. But when you see the same people, Christopher, raking in thousands of dollars methodically, and then you see them at Walmart, you see them driving vehicles and showing up at Walmart.
And have their cell phones.
Yeah, unfortunately, after a while, you get to a point where you want to say something. And after years of the same situation, I decided one day to just get involved. And,
in a very unique way, let's say.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't mean to start a big... Well, I did, but not like... It became a huge thing. The news came, and the reality was I just wanted to know what kind of money was this guy making 2 blocks from my house, standing out there with a sign.
Right.
And it turned out he was making a lot. And so,
So now you're going to close this, and you're going to...
It makes more money. I can assure you it makes more money. But what happened was a buddy of mine and I went out one day, and we decided just to put a number on it. And we put a number on it. It was staggering. And in the process of that happening, the news showed up, and suddenly it became... JT was carrying the mantle. I never intended to carry the mantle. Yeah. Really, what I really sincerely wanted to do was just pressure the guy to leave my neighborhood and go somewhere else. That's really...
And not in my backyard. So you're just shuffling him off to someone else.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's be clear about this. I wasn't trying to be a martyr for the community.
Right.
But what happened was so many literally hundreds of people started to hit me up on Facebook and to text me.
And it was on the news. I saw it on like KSPR or whatever.
Yes, sir. And everybody was so supportive about it that it suddenly became one of those things where, well, I'm already involved and it's already getting hundreds of thousands of views and comments on Facebook, so let's just do it.
Yeah.
So we just kind of picked up the mantle and did it, and we instigated change, and I'm very proud of that. But that wasn't really what the intention was until I realized.
You just wanted the guy out of your neighborhood.
I wanted him out of my neighborhood, and I've never lied about that. I'm not trying to be the nicest guy in the world, but don't come to my neighborhood and make more money than me holding a cardboard sign 2 hours a day. It's not fair.
So you did it. You stood out there in the same spot, pretty much, in the same area.
It wasn't just me. It just got sensationalized and became about me because I was an entertainer. Well, there were two of us,
and
we.
What was on your sign? You had something funny, didn't you?
Well, the first day it didn't say anything funny. The first day it was just something help us out, but we donated every cent to charity.
Right.
We just wanted to know what was happening, and we had been told by one of the local law enforcement that if someone's on the median asking for money, if you can't have a second person on the median, or the cops have to ask them both to leave.
To disperse.
So, I was dispersing. That's all we wanted. Yeah. We just wanted to stand there until the police came and made us both leave. But we needed a sign. So, holding the sign, people continually were stopping and giving us money. And it was enormous the amount of money. I mean, I learned that these folks are pulling in between $200 and $400 a day.
A day.
And they have they've got it figured out what time of day to be at what place and how much it pays. When will the locals be there?
It's a business for them.
Yes, sir.
It really
absolutely.
is.
When will
business,
the locals
let's
be there?
say, they're not paying any taxes on this.
No taxes, no permits. As a business owner, if I wanted to put up a banner that said there are going to be fights at such and such location tonight, I have to go and have a permit. I have to pay a hefty fee to the city, and then I have to have a sticker of certification.
Not these guys. They can just go wherever they want.
I can't stand on the median in the most prime real estate in the city of Branson. I can't stand there with a sign and say, come and watch us fight. We'd love to have you.
Right.
It's illegal.
Can't do that.
But I could say, hey, I'd like to have some of your money. Now, to be completely honest, if there's a homeless person that needs help, and they need to stand there, and it's come to that point where they're it's that much of a rock bottom situation for them, fair enough. But if you do that for a solid year and a half and it doesn't improve your situation, try something else.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and every time I see that, I just can't help but think we live in this town where there are so many. There really are a lot of jobs. Not all of them are fantastic jobs, but they're respectable jobs. And I mean, we have all of this, the hotels and the restaurants, and I always find it funny that the locations I see them, usually I go into the plaza or whatever, and there's clearly signs on all the stores hiring seasonal help right there, and they're out front.
When the news came to do the interviews and everything, a lot of people think we called the news. It was nothing like that. That thing blew up on its own, and when the news came, we had no issue with anyone specific. We hadn't named any names, but it became very clear which people were the issues.
Yeah, and I know who you're talking about, because the day after it was on the news, there was a new sign that said, this is all propaganda, or whatever it
I hate
said.
to even say this, but what happened was that particular set of people sort of drew attention to themselves, and so when the news came, the news went to their home, and they had a nice home, I'm sure you saw. And they became the subject of ridicule for people of the city of Branson who were tired of it.
Right.
People of Branson are tired of it.
They became the example of this.
Became the example, and then what happened is suddenly it looked like, well, JT and his friend, who shall remain nameless just for those adequate purposes, but JT and his friend are picking on this homeless guy. No, not at all. I'm not that type of a person. But let's all be fair about this. If you could make that kind of money without paying taxes or having any permits, and you could work 3 to 4 hours a day, 2 days a week.
Right.
I mean, you should.
Then you could be fighting a lot more.
I'd be fighting a lot more. Yeah. I mean, just take them all out with signs.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I started to think about that, and I thought, we do a lot of charitable stuff. I mean, we just did a thing last Halloween where the guys took kids who come and paid $20, and the guys get hit in the face with Nerf bats.
Oh, really?
Dressed like zombies, right?
That sounds.
It was really great for the guys watching, But these guys getting hit in the face with Nerf bats to help people. We're sponsoring families for Christmas.
Yeah,
and,
teaching the kids to hit grown men. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's awesome.
With bats.
Let's be clear. Not with their hands.
We're preparing them for the zombie apocalypse. Yes, we're doing good work in the community,
huge
Chris.
Fan. We talk about it all the time. So.
Okay.
So trust me.
We're
I know.
preparing.
This city is filled with walkers.
It's going down.
Yeah.
So basically, what were we even talking about?
You're talking about the charity.
Yeah, so basically what we realized is we do charity events once every single year to prepare for our Christmas drive. None of them ever paid as much money as the panhandling. So honestly, I just feel like anybody in the city that needs to raise money for an organization, I know a piece of prime real estate where you can print up a sign and it doesn't cost you any money at all to advertise your charity. And I think the people of Branson will support you if you go and ask for money in that manner.
Yeah.
I think that they will. And you know what? And they'll know exactly where the money's going, and it's going for a good use. And I don't mind standing out there and accepting money for homeless people that need it.
Right.
I just don't necessarily think that people should take advantage of the situation.
And
however,
so
I will say this. I did speak to the mayor several times, and I spoke at the town hall meeting. 5% of the people think I'm a lunatic. Hey, that works for me. I'm in mixed martial arts. That's not a problem.
Yeah, right. We're in entertainment in general. So
this guy's a horrible person and he hates homeless people. No, not at all, man. Right. But if 95% care enough to show up at the town hall meeting, amen. And that's what happened. And I just 2 days ago talked to the mayor, and she's great, and she says it'll be on the docket, and change will occur in 2000.
So hopefully we have lots of change next year between that and the non-smoking and lots of stuff going on.
What do you think about the non-smoking thing?
I think it's great, actually.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want it, but you want me to.
What? Well, no, I'll let you do that whole thing. But no, seriously, I think, not to get into that too much, but I read some complaints about it. The opposition was, oh, this place is going to lose business now. It's going to lose business because they can't smoke in here. I think it's the opposite, because I'll go to more places.
Sure.
Because, I'm big into fitness and stuff, and I can't justify.
The night that we were speaking at the town hall meeting about the handling of the pans was also the night several business owners were speaking about the non-smoking thing.
Supporting or against?
Both.
Okay.
And a lot of the local restaurants and bars they made a great case. I mean, I'm an open-minded guy. I like to think that.
Yeah.
And they all made a great case for how it would affect their business negatively. But several people made a great case for how it would affect the city positively.
Right.
One thing that I heard someone talk about was the veterans. Mm-hmm. How will the Vietnam veterans react?
Yeah.
I know a lot of Vietnam veterans come to our shows, and they all smoke.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but change is good, man.
But honestly, because at our theater, same thing happens.
Yeah.
And I always say, if you can't wait an hour or two, then it's more of an issue. It's a bad issue with you. And, and just... I'm all about people doing whatever they want. That's my big thing. It's none of my business and stuff normally, but that does affect other people, don't you think? I
do. I think if it affects, if it's a habit that I had that affected your health, then it's your business. Mm-hmm. If it was a habit I had,
like loud music or something.
Even if I were drinking, which I'm not a drinker, but even if I were drinking, it doesn't affect you, right?
Right.
But smoking a cigarette affects you, so I can understand where it's an open topic of discussion.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for the pharmacy. What is it, CVS? Did you see what they did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, where they say we're a health place and we can't justify selling cigarettes, so they completely dropped them.
Yeah, I can respect that. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be difficult for a lot of companies here in Branson. Maybe, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I'd say less than 10% of them are going to be affected. But I think that small percentage will be greatly affected.
Yeah. And look at what we've done here. We've basically picked fights with all sorts of.
No, we got
homeless.
We got to pick fights with some. We've got to make some kind of a anti-Semitic statement to close out the show.
Let's not. No,
I think you need to.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
And then if we could superimpose an American flag drops down.
Yeah,
and
it's a Branson show.
Absolutely,
we got the whole thing.
Gospel number, and then I'll hold some sparklers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm. I don't want to be controversial, but I really feel like punching someone right now. I don't want to be confrontational.
We could end the show with you knocking me out.
I have a feeling it'd be the other way around.
Not
at
all, man. Yeah. I think you could do it. You have a background in Krav Maga.
A little bit.
Here's something that you don't know about Christopher. He has a background in the martial arts.
I was big in, actually, not to brag about it, but I did martial arts for a long time. Mostly started for fitness and helping out at our college. They had a self-defense class in our area. I went to kind of a rough area for school, and so they had these, and most of the girls, I'll be honest, took these classes, and I was asked to help with it, so I helped for years, and then I actually taught little kids.
Nice. And
had a bit of an accident, because I was supposed to go to China and be in the Asian Games.
Is that right?
True story.
Competing in what aspect?
My specialty was weapons.
Really?
So, yes, and wushu, not Krav Maga.
So for those of you that are listening,
spear and bow
he
staff.
was going to go to China in a martial arts competition and fight Asian guys with weapons.
Yeah. Yes. So there's the controversy again.
So thank you, universe, for saving you from what could have been a horrible experience.
What ended up being a horrible experience.
Oh, no.
Because, unfortunately, not to dwell on this whole thing because it was a source of trauma, but I upset some people that were involved, and I ended up having an accident involving some of that situation.
Sounds like the Yakuza. It sounds like the Yakuza decided to leave Japan, go to China, get involved. It
was interesting. But, so my career changed, but that's why I love this sort of thing. And we've tried to do it in Branson, and you were telling me there's a couple places people can go, the public can go, and take some self-defense classes. And
there's
stuff
plenty
like
of places. Can we talk about it if you like?
Yeah, we can talk about it real quick.
Here at the Branson Fight Club, we are a mixed martial arts team. From time to time, young folks come in and we teach self-defense, but there are a couple of places here in town that would also teach children, and that's their primary business. Master James Hammock and Master Wayne Carmen are great friends of ours. They have a studio, TCB Martial Arts. TCB.
I've heard that before. What's
Wayne
it called,
Carmen,
TCB?
It's called TCB because Wayne was the karate coach for Elvis Presley.
He was a singer.
Yeah, absolutely. He did. He was the rock and roll guy. He did some of the rock and roll music back in the 1920s.
He sang Graceland with Paul. What's his name?
Paul Newman.
Yeah, Paul Newman.
Yeah, he built the whole Neverland with Paul Newman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really influential in the Asian culture. But TCB Martial Arts is over at the park. It's over
the
by
Recplex?
No, it's not the Recplex. That place is called the Recplex.
Yeah.
This place is over at Branson Branson Hills.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Look it up on the interweb. You'll find it under
Google it. This
TCB. I can't remember what the name of the place is called, but anyway, Master James Hammock and Master Wayne Carmen, they're great with kids. And then, of course, one of your old alma maters across town in Hollister, Huffman has now opened Branson Family Martial Arts.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn martial arts at either of those places, if you want to learn mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, striking, wrestling, conditioning, come to Branson Fight Club. All three of us are on Facebook. There really isn't a whole lot more going on in Branson. If I forgot anything, I'm sorry, as far as martial arts is concerned.
Right.
But come and find any one of us.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to get in, and they welcome new people.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That just want to get started. Some people that have had a little bit of training.
If you show up here and we're not the right place for you, we'll point you to the right place for you.
And you've done that for me. We've been talking about it off camera. And
and there's also plenty of buffets in Branson, so you can start the preparation now, and then next year come in and see us.
Yeah, that brings up something. I did an interview this morning with Runs with Scissors down here.
Really?
Yeah, and we were just discussing about how Branson is unique because we get so many people that everyone, even in the same industry, kind of supports each other. I mean, you're all doing martial arts, granted different types, but you're very supportive of sending someone, instead of convincing someone to stay here if you know it's not right for them.
Right. We try to be that way. It's a difficult industry. With fight gyms, it's a very emotional business. So we try to be that way. At least now we're at a point where everybody's helping everybody and we all love each other. So for now, come and see us. But next week we may have a fighter competing against one of their fighters, and then we'll just
friendly competition.
Yes. Then we'll wait until 2 weeks later to talk about the league.
Yeah, and you'll be out on the street holding a sign to promote that.
Yes. Yeah. So that guy is no good. Come see us.
Yeah. So real quick, for people that want to get the schedule and when fights are coming up, do you guys have a website?
We do. You want to go to Branson Fight Club on Facebook.
Okay.
It's right
here. It's
Branson Fight Club on Facebook. Yeah. Also, www.showfight.com. SHOFIGHT. You can go there for tickets and info on the fights, and keep up with us on Facebook. We're a fun group of guys, and sometimes even if you're not interested in MMA, it's fun to watch what we're up to.
And to watch the ring girls.
And to watch yes, sir. Absolutely. You keep referencing your wife. Let me reference her. All right.
No, her mother. Something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know. One of these times you come to the fights and you might see Christopher in the cage.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
People threaten to put me in cages all the time.
Maybe he'd just be the announcer or one of the ring boys, but you'll never see him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Absolutely.
Color commentary, right?
January 17th. You in?
I'm in Mexico.
See, he already ducked a fight.
No, I can't help it. But I got to tell you, when I'm out in Mexico, Puerto Rico, I worked a lot last year. My wife called me really late at night, and I was in Puerto Rico. She said, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to something called a cockfight sort of thing."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in the back of this pickup truck." And,
Lord.
So I went out in the middle of nowhere with people I'd met that were working at the restaurant I ate at. And,
Chris.
It was insane.
See, if those of you that don't know Chris, he's an adrenaline junkie that does insane,
that
crazy
is actually
things.
true.
He really will come back here, and you won't see it on camera. He really will be out here.
Like, that is honestly true. Because she reminded me that 4 years ago she called me in Hong Kong, and I was in the back of a freezer truck that some guys offered to take me to something.
Very nice.
It was me and a couple other people, but they loaded our little motorcycle in. And
we should swap Hong Kong stories off camera.
Yeah, I got a lot of those. Yeah, let's do that. That in Thailand. We got a lot.
Make sure and check out his YouTube page. He's got almost 200 and
200 and some, yeah.
200 and some videos, and if you go through them and rifle through them, this man is a crazy person.
Everything.
He is a crazy person.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's true.
So anyways, it was great talking to you.
For sure. Thank you, man.
And support the Branson Fight Club and go to the next event and spread the word about Branson Fight Club and allthingsbranson.com. Bye-bye.
All right, that was awesome.
Okay. Oh, we don't have to actually hit, do we? I don't know what to do.
We have to.
I never know what to do with my hands.
It's regulated.
Okay, look, TIE Fighter. There we go.
I don't think we can get better than that.
No, let's
I think
leave
we
it.
should just go away now.